Golden rule number 10, don't gossip. It's one of the most insidious uses of time. There's a story in Greek mythology about an argument, a competition that took place between Pan and Apollo. It was a singing competition. And King Midas of the Earth planet was asked to judge. At the end, he declared Pan the winner. And Apollo said, "You've got some defect in your ears." He said, "No, he was the better singer." That annoyed Apollo. And Apollo cursed King Midas that he would get donkey's ears. So poor King Midas now developed donkey's ears, and it was so embarrassing. He would keep his head covered with a hat. But when he had to get his hair cut, the hat would be removed, and his barber was now the only person aware of the secret of his donkey ears. And King Midas had warned him, at the point of death, you will not let out this secret to anybody else. The barber had promised, but it was creating so much of agitation in him. He has this in his stomach and he's not allowed to reveal it to anyone. The urge to gossip was getting stronger and stronger, until finally he just could not resist. He went to the countryside and dug a hole there and spoke into the hole. King Midas has donkey ears, King Midas has donkey ears, King Midas has donkey ears. He covered the hole and came back, relieved. But what happened subsequently was that grass grew from the same spot. And the grass was affected by the gossip. So when the grass grew into weeds, now every time the wind would blow, the grass would create the sound, King Midas has donkey ears. And slowly the news spread. As the saying goes, that news known to one person is a secret. When it's known to two people, it's no longer a secret. And when it's known to three people, it is news shouted out to the rest of the world. But the point we are discussing here is about this human propensity for gossip, which is so harmful. It hurts organizations. It demoralizes people. It destroys relationships and brings down kingdoms. The worst part about gossip is that the person about whom we are gossiping doesn't even know what is being done and said. Like the saying goes, that don't speak ill about a person who is hearing impaired, because that person cannot listen and defend himself or herself. Likewise, when you are gossiping behind someone's back, it is a similar act. Yet, we people are unable to resist this tendency. In Catholicism, they have this act of confession. So once three pastors got together and they said, everybody comes and confesses to us, let us also confess to each other. Everybody thought that would be a wonderful catharsis. So they said, start off. The first said, I confess today that on Sunday, after my sermon is over, in the evening I go and take a drink of alcohol. The other two said, oh, never mind, you have told us. The second turn, he said, I must confess that one day in the week I slip out of the church and go and see a movie. They, oh, never mind, you have confessed. Now they asked the third one, your turn. The third one was snickering and giggling. He said, I confess that I am a gossip and I can't wait to get out from here. Because I have got ammunition for gossip now. So why do people gossip? There are a few reasons for this. The first is it gives a sense of empowerment. When an employee walks into the office amidst the colleagues and says, have you heard? I've got this one tidbit of information from the management. And everybody says, what is it? What is it? So the employee feels empowered. I've got this one thing that the others don't have and they need me. Or the second tendency to gossip comes as a form of envy. Envy? Oh my God, this person is prospering in devotion. Somehow people feel it will reduce their chances for success in devotion. So people have the scarcity mentality that success is a limited pie. So if one is successful, my chances of success are going to reduce. This is what makes people jealous of others' success. So to make them less successful, do and say something. To lower their image in the eyes of others. This is also the crab mentality. How crabs are caught is very interesting. The crab hunters, they just make a wire mesh. And they put little bit of crab food in it and put it in the lake that has the crabs. So one crab attracted by it comes and falls into the mesh, and 2, 3 have fallen in. Now if any of the crabs tries to get out, all the other crabs grab hold of it and pull it down. Hey, kahan jata hai? Where are you going? So the crabs, all of them could have escaped, but none of them can escape. Because of the crab mentality, and more just keep coming and falling into it. Likewise, our human weakness, crab mentality, which is coming from this wrong belief that the other's success somehow is reducing my chances of success. Whereas the fact of creation is abundance. There is enough for everyone to succeed. And in fact, one of the prerequisites for success is to learn to celebrate the success of others. And the crab mentality just reduces our receptivity to divine grace. Another reason why people gossip is revenge, as a form of revenge. This person hurt me. Let me hurt this person by saying something about him or her. So it's used as a form of revenge. But the fact is that all of us love to have the affection and applause of others. And when we are gossiping, we are denying others what we want for ourselves. 3 old people were asked, how would you like to be remembered in the world? One said, as a very nice man. The second said, as a very kind-hearted person. The third said, as very loving and caring. So all of them wanted to be remembered with affection. And so do all of us. And yet, by gossiping, we are denying others that love and affection. One more reason why some people gossip. If you have the feminine body, you are more prone to gossip. I mean, men have their own weakness and hundreds of them, but when it comes to gossip, women are slightly more vulnerable to this defect than men. And it has reasons from our Puranic history. Kunti Devi, when she was not yet married, Durvasa gave her the boon that you can call Devatas whenever you wish. And she was not sure whether she had the boon and said, let me try it out. And she called the sun god. And Surya Devta actually came and she was extremely embarrassed. She said, I was just trying out the boon. And Surya Dev said, my visit can now not go in vain. You must have a child. And since you are not married, the child will be through the ear. As a consequence, Karna was born. Now Kunti, to avoid any kind of disfamy, she put Karna in a basket and floated him on the river. As luck would have it, the charioteer of Dhritarashtra, Adhirat Nandan, was bathing downstream and saw this baby floating down and took him home. So Adhirat Nandan's wife, her name was Radha, and that is why Karna is sometimes called Radhe, or the son of Radha. Now, because Adhirat Nandan was the charioteer of Dhritarashtra, so Karna grew up in the palace of the Kauravas and befriended Duryodhan. And that is how he re-entered the life of the Pandavas as well. Now, when the battle of Mahabharat was decided upon, it became inevitable. And these were two sets of warring cousins who were so influential that all the kings of those times would be obliged to side with one or the other. So at that time, Kunti, before the battle, called her eldest son Karna, the elder brother of the Pandavas, and revealed to him the secret of his birth and the fact that she was his mother. So Kunti demanded from Karna that you will not hurt your younger brothers. And that put Karna in an ethical dilemma. He said, on one side is my dharma towards my friend Duryodhan. On the other side, you are demanding me to fulfill my dharma to you as your son. So I will do a compromise. I will not hurt 4 of the Pandavas, but the 5th Arjun, I will not leave him. Subsequently, of course, we know by Sri Krishna's conniving, it was Karna who died in the battle, not Arjun. But when the battle was over after 18 days, now Dhritarashtra asked Yudhishthir to do the funeral rites for all his dead brothers, the 100 Kauravas, and also for Karna. And Yudhishthir said, why for Karna? Dhritarashtra said, he is your brother. What? My brother? Go and ask your mother. He went and asked Kunti. Kunti said, unfortunately, it's true. Yudhishthir said, you kept a secret from us. If we had known, it's possible the course of this battle would have been different. I curse all womanhood. You shall never be able to keep secrets again. But see, nevertheless, factually from the spiritual perspective, we are neither male nor female, we are all eternal souls. And this character defect of gossip can never make us feel happy. Whenever we engage in it, that bitter feeling is there in our conscience, I am not doing right. Yet, in offices, it has been seen that 50% of the conversation is about people and 16% of the conversation is gossip. So we need to come up with a formula to prevent ourselves from it. Well, the most important thing is to realize its adverse consequences. When we gossip, we get hurt by it. And how is that? Another story from the Puranas is of a king who did a sadhu bhoj. A sadhu bhoj is a feast that is offered to monks. So monks are invited. And unknown to the king, an eagle was carrying a snake in its mouth. The snake was half dead. And while it was flying above, venom from the snake's mouth fell into the cauldron where khichdi was being cooked. So a little bit of it turned terribly poisonous. And the 2-3 sadhus who ate that portion, they died. Now, the king was extremely grieved at what had happened and didn't know why it had happened. In the meantime, Yamraj instructed Chitragupt to go and find out. Chitragupt is believed to be given the task of noting everybody's karmas. Yamraj deputed him, find out this death of the 3 sadhus, on whose account should it be put. Chitragupt started wondering, the eagle cannot be blamed for it, because the eagle was doing what its nature and its physiology had conditioned it to do. The snake can also not be faulted. It did not voluntarily drop poison there, and it was also driven by its nature. The cooks were unaware. The king had only arranged it as an act of service. So Chitragupt said, to whom does this bad karma belong? In the meantime, a couple of more sadhus came. And they asked an old lady sitting at the gate of the palace, is this the palace where the sadhu bhoj is happening? So the old lady said, yes. But you know one thing? That king is a killer and he's putting poison into the khichdi and killing sadhus. Chitragupt then decided that all the karma should be given to this lady. So the rule was established that if you gossip about somebody and it is true, then the karma is split 50-50 between that person and you. And if you gossip about somebody and it's untrue, then you get 100% of the karma. So that is why gossip at your own expense. But the point is, we must also not indulge in the gossips of others. Because when you lend a receptive ear, it just gives a lift to that gossip. So, for this, the 3-filter test of Socrates is very nice. One man came to this wise old man of Greece, Socrates, and said, you know what? I've got something I really need to tell you about. I've heard it in the marketplace. So Socrates said, wait. Let us apply the 3-filter test. The first filter. This thing you wish to tell me, is it true or is it untrue? If it is untrue, then why tell me? No, 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 it's a true thing. Second thing, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? If it's a bad thing, then let it be. No, 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 it's a good thing. Third, is it helpful or harmful? If it is harmful, then leave it untold. Only if it is true plus good plus helpful should you tell it. That is why Mahatma Gandhi's formula also is a very simple one. His three monkeys, na sun bura, bol bura, dekh bura. Hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. We people are so selective in the food that we allow into our mouth. We are so selective about the clothes we wear. Should we not be selective about the junk we allow into our head through such futile conversations? If your neighbor were to come and empty their garbage pail onto your carpet of the living room, you'd say, "What is this? Clear it up or I'm ringing 911. And yet, by participating in gossip, we allow our head to be filled by unnecessary garbage. This must stop. Hence, the 10th golden rule is, do not engage in gossip. You will also develop your character and become a better person.